What about on your seat? You run the little padding, you know, like the extra step. What?
Just to be a little bit closer to the handlebar when I accelerate, just not to lose my length, to keep the power.
Yeah. Help for the wheelie too, or no?
No, not mainly for the wheelie.
Really? So
you use more?
Yeah, I need a lot of space. I have long arms. So you run quite in bars, huh?
Yeah, I used to quite close because I don't have so much, not so long arms, so I need to have really to push, you know, because if otherwise I'm too much, I cannot use my power.
Yeah. Always run quite flat. Everybody in America, the angle, it's not so much they run because many tracks in America, bus stop, chicane, many stop and go, so it's almost like
flat,
like motocross bars,
yeah,
so you have more leverage. I think it's Superbike style.
Yeah, before they used to, the angle much like this, but now it's
yeah. Before, the old GP riders
like this. Yeah. Well, yeah, I used to start with let's say Europe style, so I'm more like not standard, you know, not very good on one point bad on the other one. I think a more level is standard. And, I think, for example, in America, people are good on spin and control the bike when the bike is out of control.
Yeah, I would say definitely because the tracks we race in America are also, the grip is always not so good, and we run many times like Daytona, Colorado, all these tracks that are on an oval, you have to run so hard the tire. You cannot imagine how hard you have to run the tire. So in the infield, you have no grip on one side. So I think it teaches the riders to understand the sliding. Also, of course, I grew up dirt tracking and learned a lot of habits, some bad, some I wish I didn't have. Like I use a lot the rear brake because flat track you don't have front, only one option. So now I use too much the rear brake, you know, for the wheelie, for set the bike, for everything I push the brake. So taught a few bad habits, but I guess in other situations is useful.
Compared to Europe style, I use a lot. Also, I have a tendency like him, but not much as you.
Yeah, everybody thinks my brake is so big and it's so strong, but it's really so big just so it don't overheat.
Yeah.
It's actually, the power is less than some small brakes because I use such a strong spring in the rear brake, and there's not that much power, but it can take a lot of pushing, but not always so much stopping. Yeah, I mean, I think sure the data now, some things you can see so much is a huge help, and the data don't lie. You know, if you're braking or something, it's, you know, you can't fool that data. But also the data doesn't always feel what the rider feels. You know, it's not always the lines, how they look, or this or that. It's what the feels what makes the rider turn the throttle, and they have yet to come up with a sensor for feel where I don't have it, and that's the most important, what the rider has.
Yeah, I think it's important just to look for, to have an idea, but not to really have close looking.
For transmission, sure, it's really easy to, you know, help pick your transmission, and spinning, you know, they can see where you're spinning the most now for also the tires.
From my point of view, I think it's very important because the rider is the one at the end goes on the bike and do the job. But first of all, the technician is the one, if you are a little bit lost or you don't know exactly you cannot tell them exactly what's going on. With their experience, they can help you to go over this problem and try to go with closed eyes and go full.
Yeah. But I think just the communication is the most important thing. I mean, not that you have to tell the guy 2 or 3 times, almost he can read your mind. You know, during the hour session, you know, they just need to know, you know, like just almost feel the rider. It's, I guess, hard to explain, but not keep going back and forth and trying to explain to him what you're feeling. No, it's not like that. It's more like this. Just say something one time and he can understand the point you're trying to make. But, you know, it's hard and a lot of pressure on team and everybody else, and they're trying to help you. So, you know, need to listen to them.
Especially right now with the tires, the thing is coming complicated. But there is some basics like gearbox, brakes. Engine is probably the less, I think, less important because they control everything by the data, so they can tell if it's going good or not. And then the tires are very important, and then just your feeling on setting of the bike.
Yeah, I would say now, like you say, the tires are the most important. That's what makes the biggest difference. I mean, sure, a half a turn of compression could maybe help, but if you get the right tire in, it makes a huge difference. And but when things are going good, you're not making so many changes. You know, when you're on a good run and bike's working good, you can bring it out of the truck and you're quite close, and you can just ride it and let the rider make the difference. It's when you're having to come in and change wheelbase, offset, ride height. This is when you're in trouble.
Sometimes it happens, some strange phenomenon happens from warm-up to race, and you don't know why. Everything is the same and just feels different. But you cannot change it. You have to go. And if you are strong, you can make it. If this blocks your mind, then you're in trouble, probably.
I think that's what separates, you know, good riders from the guys that are special. The guys that can ride around a little bit of chatter or this or that, or, you know, can ride through problems, like you say, when it's time to put your qualifier on or when it's time to go out for the race, you know, that don't, you know, but more and more it gets harder to ride through these problems as the bike gets more advanced and the data and different things. It's not like you can just grit your teeth so much and go.
For slide, I have no problem. I like it and I enjoy it. But if you spin too much, you don't get the lap time, so you are on the back. So you need not to spin too much at this moment, I guess. And,
yeah, I mean, it sometimes looks cool and might be good for a photo, but for going fast, sliding days are over.